How are you doing, Deepanshu?
Great, ma'am.
Okay, and how is your DSC going on? How is the second semester at DSC?
Full of roller coasters. Is the only thing I can say about DSC. Each new day brings something unexpected.
True. So, what are the subjects in the second semester? Do you have econometrics?
Not econ. I have taken econometrics as my optional.
Okay. And game theory?
Game theory, EDPI, and macro are the three core subjects we have.
Okay, okay. And you don't have maths in the second semester, right?
No, no.
Hmm.
But we can opt for maths as an optional.
Acha, that would be real analysis part.
I don't know about what is included in that maths, but we were given six optionals: financial, maths, economics, health and education, economics of discrimination, and social something. And there was another optional which I'm not recalling right now.
Hmm.
So I opted for econometrics, but it is very difficult because there's a gap that I have to fill because I didn't opt for advanced economics during my undergrad.
Hmm. And this econometrics is all matrix based, right?
There have been just two classes, so I don't know.
Acha, okay. And who is taking econometrics this time?
Sunil, sir.
Sunil Kanwar.
Yes, sir, Sunil Kumar, sir.
Okay, got it, got it. Sure. So, Dipanshu, this is just a chit chat session where we would like to know, given that only 2 months are left, what do you think should be the strategy that students should be following to get at DSC?
So, firstly, the most important thing is to solve all the mocks, assignment, and quizzes that one has and make a note of all the mistakes that you have committed because you cannot revise all the mocks and assignments just before the exam. So, revising those important questions or the mistakes you have committed would help. And secondly, the more revision cycles you have, the more thorough you will be on with your notes and more conceptual clarity you will have on the day you will be sitting in the exams. And thirdly, a strategy which I used was I divided my entire preparation into a general prep and an exam specific prep. So in the general prep, I revised everything which the common topics which are asked in all the exams. Like for micro, I used Hallvarian. For macro, I used Blanchard, and accordingly, Ecotrix Gujarati. So these were the common topics which almost every exam holds. But there were some exam specific topics like, for example, GATE and JAM are some exams which are very much maths oriented and stats oriented. So when I observed the PYQs of these exams, so I got to know that there were some few topics like linear programming, solving the duals and primals, and linear algebra, which was something I not asked in any other exam.
Hmm.
So I went on YouTube and searched these uh, topics, and the questions were pretty basic. So they don't ask in that much depth on these topics. So I was able to solve them on the exam day also. And secondly, for CUET, the exam was more theoretical and conceptual. So there was not much preparation required for it separately, but the statistical economic affairs that are asked in CUET were something which required a special attention. So mostly my SEM 5 and SEM 6 material related to Indian Eco, Development Eco, EHI, MFM was sufficient. But apart from it, I also referred to a book, R. Gupta PG Eco. So it had some questions, although it not held much because most of the questions were wrong. So, but at least I had something to do because the type of questions asked in that book was on same lines as they were asked in the CVT exam. So this was something which helped. And lastly, I would like to say that uh, I cannot emphasize much more on the importance of solving PYQs because solving the PYQs is something which tells you what type of questions you can expect in the exam, and when they come in the exam won't be shocked that, oh, I haven't seen such a question before. So this is something, and usually students delay solving PYQs, like when I'll complete the syllabus and then I'll solve the PYQs. So try to avoid this because the syllabus won't be complete till the day of exam. So start solving PYQs today itself. Even if you are looking at the solutions, it's fine.
Hmm.
Solve them again and again till the point you don't have to look at solutions. It will help, and this is something which has helped me. So I can say this for sure. And try to fill all the forms of exams, whichever exam is being conducted, even if you don't have to sit in that university, because the experience of sitting in that room and experiencing that nervousness and the repeated revision cycles you have to do for each exam is something which will eventually help you get in the university you want to. And this was something which helped for me despite giving all the exams. I got bit nervous on the day of CUT because it is the most important exam for us. There was a question related to which type of goods have constant MRS,
Hmm.
perfect substitutes. But on that day, I don't know what happened that I left that question, and it was such an easy question that I kept regretting it. That why I left it. But thankfully, I got into DSC despite leaving it. So that's it.
That means one should not panic towards the end. And
Yes.
that happens a lot of time. Easy question also seems difficult on the day of exam.
Yes, ma'am, exactly.
What did you do on the day of exam? Any special thing you did? Did you revise on the day of exam before entering the hall? How did you manage the time during that period?
Ma'am, I have an habit of keep revising until I get into that exam room. So even during the metro journey, I made that notes of static affairs related to economics from that PG CUET R Gupta. I
Hmm.
kept revising them, the each financial commission and the committees under different economists. This was something I prepared special notes for them and prepared short notes for stats and econometrics. Uh, and as I said that you cannot complete the entire syllabus. And when I was on my way to the GATE exam, I did my entire econometrics. And it was helpful that I did it in a nice manner during my undergraduate, that I was able to, I mean, do it in a small interval of time, but you should practice it earlier also.
Hmm. Because there were some unexpected questions also last time. Like I think simultaneous equation was there, and one was on time series mod. I mean, they were not from first 13 chapters of Gujarati. They were from the later chapters of Gujarati.
They are a part of advanced econometrics.
They were part of advanced econometrics, exactly. Okay, so how do you suggest students to manage the time during the exam? How do you allot that time? Because it's a computer-based exam. So, what do you suggest? How should the students pick question? Should they do sequence-wise, or if they don't understand a question, just skip and move through? What strategy should they apply there?
So for GATE and IIT JAM, there were three types of questions: MCQ, MSQ, and numerical answer type. I would advise to be give special attention to the MSQ type questions because this was the section where I lost majority of my marks. MCQ and numerical answer type were pretty much doable. And while doing these questions, there were a few type of questions which are there to waste your time. There was a question on numerical, nominal GDP and real GDP, table-based questions, which take a lot of time. Despite the fact you are having a calculator in the exam, they will end up taking a lot of your time.
Hmm.
So try to skip these time-consuming questions in the first round and come back to them later if you have time. The approach which I used to follow was I used to do the questions in the exact order they are given. And if I am taking too much time on a particular question, I used to skip it and come to it after my exam.
Okay.
But in exams like CUET, the time frame is quite short. I was not able to cover all the questions which I left initially. So initially, I planned for it was that I attempted all the questions that I was sure of.
Hmm.
Then I came back to the questions. I saw that I do a cost benefit analysis, that how much marks am I scoring and what would be the expected cutoff during the exam itself.
Hmm.
So I ended up answering a few more questions, which I was not 100% sure. Like 80-70% I was sure of the answers, but not 100%. So this was the approach that I used.
Right, that's correct. So, there is negative marking also. So students have to be very careful while they attempt the question which they don't know, right? And one last question that I have for you. So, how did you manage this preparation with your upcoming semester exams that were also there, or with the semester, sixth semester preparation?
Ma'am, I am a part of DU, so I know how to do that end moment study in the
Uh,
last 2 weeks.
uh,
In both semester 5 and semester 6,
hmm,
just the last moment study helped me get through the exams.
hmm.
So also the last 2 semesters are much more theory based. We have to do just the papers. So that was not much of a pressure for me. But during the sixth semester exams, my entrance exams and the semester six exams were being held simultaneously. One day I'm having a Ashoka exam, next day I'm having a semester six MSc, and then semester six. So this was something which collided, but eventually it's not much of a pressure to manage the semester exams. You can easily get through, and the fact that you are preparing for entrance exams, you know that you just need to pass those exams, semester exams.
True. I think this is something which all Delhi University students tell, that sixth, fifth, and sixth semester you should be focusing on entrance exam more. और ये वाला semester तो निकल ही जाएगा. It will pass through.
एंड निकल ही जाता है.
हाँ. That I think, when I was in Delhi University and when we used to check paper, we were also a bit lenient, and because we know that we cannot afford to kind of give less marks to student. वो थोड़ा teacher के दिमाग में भी रहता है that students need to pass through. So yes,
Even the faculty of our college was nice enough
I
to
very understand.
let us in, give the internal exams without being even present for any class. Even my one of my professor asked me during one of the internals, बेटा आप क्या कर रहे हो, आप तो कभी दिखते ही नहीं हो क्लास में.
Hmm. That happens during especially sixth semester. काफी
Yes.
ज्यादा हो जाता है, right? Okay, thank you so much for your time, Deepanshu, today. I hope that the strategies that you have shared will help the upcoming batch students. And anything towards the end you would like to tell about DSC that will motivate the students?
DSC, the fact that motivated to opt for DSC was the legacy, the fact that one of our prime ministers had taught here, and the kind of faculty, the reputed faculty DSC has, and the peer group you will become a part of is something which you will not find in anywhere else. So DSC is something which I went for despite clearing all other entrance exams.
Right. And also the placement will be very good.
That's unsaid.
Yeah. Right. Thank you so much for your time, Dipanshu. I wish you all the luck for your remaining semesters at Delhi School.
Thank you, ma'am, and all the best to everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much.